What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Ecast, the producers show, exclusive chat, and studio tracks. And today we're here back again with the first female artist interview that we have brought to the studio finally. But in this case, today we're going to do something different. This person is actually a poet. She's also a singer. And she does plenty of other stuff too as well. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I feel so like I am important, but right now I feel even more important. I'm like, wow, I feel like I fucking want to grab me right now. I'm going to, and I am.
That's cool. Hey, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. That's why I just said I feel really important because I'm like, wow, I'm the first girl, and like the way I think of it is like, I'm gonna look back at this one day and I'm gonna be like, dude, look it.
You're making history right now, for real.
Exactly. You too.
I am.
Episode 8. Remember this, bitch, because you're going to be laying in your bed one night and you're just going to be like replaying this freaking interview and you're going to laugh in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I know this is going to be a fun talk, to be honest. Ever since we met at the casually at the Bearded Bean.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bearded Bean. I'm gonna have to bring these fools out here too to make an interview because I meet too many people out there. That's just a great place to network and meet new people in town and stuff. How you been feeling?
I'm doing well. I'm doing good. I'm going through it. No, not bad, but like going through the motions of life. That's what I meant.
Hey, it is life. This is just how it is.
Yeah.
So some of the things. This is funny because the way that Michelle introduced herself to me at the Bearded V was so funny because I was having a conversation with somebody else. I don't know, and then she said, "Did you just say that you do podcasts?" I was like, "Yes, I do." I want to go. I was like, okay, let's do it.
I literally was sitting and then my little fucking antenna stood up and I was like, I've been learning that any opportunity or any little thing you hear, like my dad and a lady that I randomly met taught me this, like, cuando ves el toro, lo tienes que agarrar
por los cuernos.
Yes, and you have to fucking take hold of that shit. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And honestly, I don't have anything art-wise right now ready, but I'm going to put myself out there. And that was like 2 months ago?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, and then since then I have been creating and I have been getting more into like my arts as in like music and poetry. So it's like, even if you don't think you're ready in the moment, I feel like the universe will throw the opportunity.
Right.
When it's like, it's just
of course.
Not thinking about it. It's all about listening to your higher self, I feel.
Definitely. Yeah. Hey, that day, it actually caught my ears because you sang a cover song, I think it was.
Yeah.
Was it a Rihanna song?
No,
but that's what I said. I was like, you sound like Rihanna. Like, what the hell?
And I was gassed. I remember he told me and I was like, because Rihanna's just very raw. Like look, I never realized how much she really inspired me growing up. Because I feel like me growing up around a lot of boys, but still very girly, that made my outer persona very blunt and very like, I'm gonna say how I feel, not realizing, that's how it came out. Like, it sounded too aggressive to other people, but now that I'm older, I'm like, I'm just very passionate.
Yeah.
Like, and you could tell, like, even right now, I'm just talking regular, but I'm like this because that's just how I express
But
myself.
That's good, though. That's good because, people sometimes need a little bit of life. And that's a deep statement. And even though we're alive, are we actually living?
Are we actually, like, at our full potential as a human being? And, like, that's where right now when you ask me how are you doing, and I said going through it, like, okay, on my drive here, lately music just hasn't been hitting, but just because I haven't had the space to listen to it. And yesterday I had listened to an old artist. I don't know if you've heard of Roach Gigs.
No.
Okay, so he's a artist from the Bay Area, but he was like popping. Right now he's just like a little bit more calm, but back then, like early 2000s, no, not early 2000s, tampoco. Like 2000 and I want to
10s?
say like 2000. His latest project though was 2005. So yeah, maybe early. But when I was younger, I used to go to the Bay Area a lot,
Mm.
and Roach Gigs was just like, it slapped. And I was listening to this song called Different, and when I played it, oh my gosh, like my endorphins and my like just went, and that spark came in me again, and I hadn't felt that way in like the past weeks. So it's like when I was listening to myself and seeing my like body language, I was like,
Mm.
I'm alive. Like what you
Yeah,
just said, like
yeah.
that's me. Like not what I've been like feeling. I feel like the dimmed version of myself,
Mm.
but like the real me is like you said, like the life, like the movement, the excitement. Like you could my eyeballs. Like I already speak freaking loud, but you could every fucking my bone, my eyeballs, my mouth,
You
my
feel it in your entire body when you're actually in
yes,
it. When you're in it, that's a good
yes,
thing because you know what? It happened. That's one of the things that I do when I want to really lift myself up. It's actually to listen to the music I grew up with
yeah,
because it just has a sense of energizing yourself and bringing that younger spirit back.
exactly.
It's like I've been listening. I like lately. I've been doing a lot of hip hop, a lot of urban music and stuff, and
Mhm.
reggaeton. But when I was growing up, shoot, that was the last thing I was hearing.
Yeah.
I was a really heavy rock metal guy, and I was always like pumped on freaking guitar riffs and
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah.
So I was in a different zone. So sometimes when I'm taking a drive or whatever, I'm like, you know what? The hell with this urban stuff. I need to get away from it a little bit. And I just go to my
Yeah.
old music
Yeah.
and I get my hype up again. I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit, there we go. I can keep track with all these music. There's so much music nowadays.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it's not like there wasn't music back then, but I feel like the quality control was more there. I dropped my shit. Wait a second.
It's right there.
It was more of a quality control before than now it is. Now it's
Yeah.
like everybody wants to just release, 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 and there's no quality in a lot of these music. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it's a give and take. Sometimes you're gonna find somebody that's dope. Sometimes you're gonna find somebody that's just trash. But just taking the energy to actually find that somebody, it's exhausting. You know
Honestly,
what I'm saying?
yeah, I feel because like what you said, I feel like I was talking to my grandma about it because we were watching Premio Lo Nuestro. When I
Okay.
was little, I used to watch the Latin awards and everything.
Mm.
I loved it because I've always just loved like dancing, music, etc. And this is not to shun on any music because I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm a romantic, but I'm not gonna go freaking be ratchet and go dance to all this shit that is not meaningful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was just like, dude, what happened to the romance in music? Like artists, I can't think of his name right now, but just like I grew up with a lot of diversity in music, and I think that's why I am, and I know that's why I am the way that I
Mm.
am.
Yeah.
Like you can't just put me in one box with anything because
Yeah.
that's my artistry too, and what makes me unique. Like I can shapeshift into anything, and I feel like music has such a big part of that.
Mm.
How I feel, you will hear it in my music or how I dress. Like
Mm.
I'm like a visible mood ring.
Mm. Oh, that's an interesting way of
Yeah,
saying this.
yeah, because it's like I was reflecting this past week on like if you go on my Instagram, you can see I have different looks, right?
Mm.
And it's like because each of those times I was feeling different and I was listening to different things. Like,
Yeah, of course.
yeah,
Music definitely changes our mood and changes. It's actually, it is the audio representations of who we are most of the time. Definitely, definitely.
yeah.
This has been a crazy intro so far. I
It's
haven't
only
even
one.
asked a question yet. This is crazy.
I'm telling you,
But
I'm a
let's
yapper.
go a little deep though. Tell us more
I like
about your
these
your
questions.
your early life. Like how was Michelle growing up?
Yeah.
What are those things that um got you in this personal journey you are in right
May I
now?
start crying? um, Yeah, I might start crying. I am, but it's more because like I grew up how we talked about earlier. I grew up very misunderstood.
Mm,
I never felt like I fit in because I never saw things how other people saw things.
mm,
And I always felt like I was always shouldn't feel that way. Why would you do
mm,
that? Why would you say that? But it's like I've always defended my truth.
mm,
And it's like always being like labeled as like you're wrong for liking that. And
mm,
that's in anything, like in an art, a music, and why do you express yourself that way?
mm,
And as I was driving, I was like, bitch, my biggest thing that people used to clown on me about is what makes me me. Like what like my artistry is what people would make fun of me about. And it's the freaking best thing about me. Like the whole I'm loud, like my family clowns on me because we we went to go like, but this is like whole family, like all the family. Um, they were like, I got there and they were like, "Oh, Michelle's here, blah blah blah," and I was like, "Damn, I think I need a mic for everybody to hear me." And my cousin was like, "I don't think you need a mic, bitch.
Your volume's already up.
I think everybody could hear your ass." And I was like, "Whatever, I'm gonna still get with them." But back to the question, early years was like I always knew, and okay, and this is like where I reflect on where so this is just like quick little story, but it'll kind of like I'm glad that happened. So when I was in elementary, middle school, I would always get bad grades because I had a hard time focusing on school. My brain
Mm.
was always somewhere more.
Squirrel.
Yeah,
I've been
but more
there.
in like the art. Like I
Yeah.
was just always daydreaming about
Mm,
like what I would see either like on because I grew up a Disney child, a Disney Channel child, and I just always liked like very glamour, very girly,
mm,
very like that lifestyle, and that's what I would always daydream about. And like I remember because well, you know how I mentioned I grew up with boys.
mm,
I wasn't able to express that feminine side of me,
mm,
but I would go like on my scene and do hair and nails and stuff like that. But I was always hanging around with the boys. So I was really like molded to just like you can see and it comes out like you could see my feminine side and then more of my masculine side because it's like I constantly battle with that. Because
mm.
it's like I grew up having to which is like right now I'm actually reflecting on it where it's like it's kind of on question, but not on question, and I'm
No,
so
no, go
sorry.
for it. Hey, this is your space. You know, one of
My
the
safe
things,
space.
it's your safe space. So, I mean, other than everybody probably going to watch it, but
It's
they're
okay.
gonna identify with this because sometimes we are often misgiven and misunderstood,
Yeah,
and it's good for people to understand that they're not the only ones that are going through whatever situation they're going through. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I've been through it. You
yeah,
know, I was always also one of the nerdy guys. Never, you know, I was always on my. I wasn't really into a lot of sports. A lot of my friends were just about sports, 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 and I was just about arts, arts, arts.
yeah.
So when that's funny because when I played baseball for one season officially. Then I played baseball like with the
Congrats.
whole neighborhood and everything. But shoot, even my dad bullied the hell out of me. Like, what the hell? He said
Yeah.
that I needed a guitar to hit the fucking ball. Like, what? Are you kidding
Why
me?
would you destroy
Thank
a
you,
guitar?
Dad. I appreciate you. You know, you ruined my freaking childhood baseball dream of doing anything. But that's
I'm
fine. I
sorry.
forgave him. I love him anyways.
Yeah,
But those are the things that shape you into being the person you are today.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You have to give yourself some grace and into growing into what we are right now. You know, so it's a long journey, man.
yeah. It is. Me, I'm tearing up right now. But you see, like I even like that where I feel deeply, and it's like, oh, why are you crying about that? Bitch, why is it your problem? You're not the one experiencing what I do. But I
Hmm.
will say it's one of the best things because when I see something that really touches me, I love how full it makes me feel. Cause it's like, yeah, when I feel things, whether it's a very hurtful one, like pain, yeah, that hurts. But when I feel love, that's so euphoric. Like that feeling, I feel like, because like me in my natural state, I'm a lover girl. Like I will go to the depths for anybody, but like I do that for me now. But it's like now when I'm actually present to feel it, it feels like I'm on a cloud and floating. And that's where I'm like, I express that to people and they're like, dude,
A
how beautiful.
zen.
Yes, they're like, how beautiful is that to feel that? Like I haven't been able to feel things in such a long time.
That's funny you say that because I was telling my therapist I'm a retired veteran. I think I
I was
kind of
looking at
mentioned
that.
that, but I was finding myself in a lost struggle for my creative side again, and it took me a very long time. I was depressed, I was super down, and I just couldn't figure myself out again, which was so weird because coming from my entire life being a creative person to actually all of a sudden lose that, it's hard and it sucks.
You're a different
But
person.
once, and it's been a minute now that I discover myself, and I've been in this state of zen, which I didn't know what the hell it was. And my therapist was like, "You're experiencing zen." I was like, "What do you mean? The hell is that?" It's like you are actually appreciating yourself as you are right now, and you're living the moment right now. You're not outside of anything but the present,
Yeah.
which is what counts.
Yeah.
Every moment right now, what you're doing, it's what counts. Are you wasting it or are you making it count? That's
Clock it. And that's the thing where, like right now, how I started tearing up, that's me being
I
present.
tear up all the time, so don't
Oh,
worry.
I I let people know and I don't care. I'm gonna cry wherever. If I feel it, I'm not gonna suppress my emotions
Yeah.
to make you feel comfortable. I've done that my whole life. I'm not doing stuff for people no more. Where
When you feel fine about that, you know who said that? A couple of interviews ago, J2 mentioned it. I'm fine with crying. A grown ass man, I'm fine with crying. You have to be fine with crying because those are also chemicals coming out of your body.
that's us cleansing
Yes.
our spirit,
Yeah. Hell yeah.
and that's where like when again another thing where I've expressed it to people and I explain it to them, and I'm like, look it. Say if you have a situation and somebody says something to you that's actually like something positive, but you take it as like an old engagement,
Mm.
your body's going to create the same chemical reaction as the past,
Correct.
not the
Correct.
present one.
Right.
So it's like when you're allowing yourself to be present and to acknowledge, oh, this is what's going on right now. You're able to like this is just more in depth to like emotional spirituality where why it comes out as a lot is because that's been suppressed emotions you've had in for so long. Like right
Mm-hmm.
now, back then I probably would have been bawling, but now I've actually been like, oh, this is how I feel. So it's like little baby tears come out.
Mm.
I'm like, I'm still validating myself, but I'm not overreacting.
Mm.
But like I don't have so much emotion pent up that it's gonna
Yeah.
come out as sporadic.
Right,
That makes
right,
sense?
right. I get you. I
Yeah.
get you. Man, what a journey this is.
What a
Life
journey.
life is life is something else, man. Sometimes
Yeah.
people don't realize how you actually grow in this world. If we really stop think about how we actually are growing, people be impressed. Cause the world, like you were saying earlier today, the world is so fucked. The world entirely, it's a crazy place to be in.
It is, and it's like nunca me di cuenta, and now that I do, because people used to tell me they're like, "Oh, you don't realize like what happiness you bring like in the moment, right?"
Mm.
And I used to be like, "Oh, you guys aren't like this." Like that's my thought where I'm like, "You guys don't revolve yourself around people like this. Like,
Uh.
where are you spending time at?"
Hmm.
That's my thing. Where, like, back to the early years stuff, like, and I was reflecting on it on my drive here, where when I was younger, I used to be out in the club. I used to go out and have fun. I'm not gonna say be wretched. I was having fun, but now where I'm at, I'm like, wow, I was actually like in really dangerous spots at one point. Like the people I would run into, or like hang out with, they were pretty sketchy, you know?
Mm.
And that's where I'm like, okay, that's like the part of the fucked up world. Like, I was at that part, you know? So now that I'm like in this part of my path, I'm like, wow, I'm grateful. Like, I'm safe. I have all the power to like not revolve myself around that
Mm-hmm.
and like see like things better because I learned. Like, trust,
Right.
whenever people like share with me things and they're like scared because they're gonna be judged, I'm like, baby, you knew my lives and all the lives I've lived.
Yeah.
I can't judge you.
Mm.
And it's like I feel like individuals, it would be a better place if people would just not be as judgmental.
Mm.
I feel
Yeah.
that, or just as like, and this is what sucks. Like, and I was talking to my homegirl about it yesterday, where I'm someone that I've always loved, like not looks, but like been into, like I said, the glamour and like
Mm.
pretty stuff. And it's like I've been labeled as like I'm stuck up because of that.
Mm.
Where I'm like, it's mindsets like that people think like that keeps us like separated. Where it's like actually get to know me, you know, like if you only knew it took me years to feel confident enough to finally express myself like this as a woman.
Mm.
Where if you really knew my story, you know, like my mom didn't allow me to. My mom, like, and this, if this makes it on the interview, but it's like one day
Oh,
people are gonna know.
everything's gonna make it.
Where it's like my mom didn't allow me to express myself till like I graduated high school. Like even like the way I would dress, like. But here's the thing, like it was all mental, like a cárcel. Like
Mm.
it was like feeling controlled by someone else. But
Mm.
now that I'm out of it, I'm like, I had control the whole time. It's just
Mm.
like I was allowing her shadow to like be projected onto me.
Mm.
So it's just
Interesting.
like, it's like when people like have seen me and they're like prejudiced, I'm like, if you only really knew though, like, and I still fight that voice in my head that's like, oh, like, no, you shouldn't wear that. Or like, shouldn't like express yourself like that. Like you don't have the body for it. Like it's just like so much things where it's like if we all had like were supportive and loving, the world wouldn't be how it is. It's just like projections and insecurities and like the feeling of like, oh, I don't feel safe, so I'm gonna
Mm.
carry this, or like any second. Like the other day, I was door dashing and I pulled up to It's not funny, but it's just like the way it happened. To deliver it, and I pulled up to the side and the car opened the door and it was a guy, and then I was like, oh my bad, because I thought my door was gonna hit him. He's like, oh nah, I thought you were tripping. And I was like, oh nah. And I was like, do I use my younger voice of like, oh nah, it's good? Or I'm like, I was actually really like, oh fuck, like he thinks I'm trying to bang on him or something. And I was like, oh no. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm just delivering. He's like, oh, okay, cool, you good.
What the
And I was like,
hell?
this, like, see, we can't even pull, like, not we, but not even feeling safe to just pull up because you feel threatened.
Wow, it's just I gotta say that this is something that I'm learning about here, living in California,
Mm-hmm.
because growing up in Puerto Rico, luckily I didn't got to experience this. It will only happen like in the residential areas, like of the hood and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This kind of situation, and even if it happened close to where I was, people were different back then, and in the island, people were definitely much different. But here, I hear about it more and more often. It's like the other day, another buddy of mine told me, I was like, dude, I was just standing outside work, and this dude, I was on the phone and they're just talking, and I looked over some guy, and then the guy came back saying, he's like, what's up? You wanna, like, what the hell is wrong with people?
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
we can't even look at each other anymore. Like, are we freaking savages? Oh, this is what it is.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
It feels like survival of the fittest. Like, it's, and I'm like this. I'm literally just, well, minding
wow.
my business, you know? But it's like, I feel, and I reflected on this where I've never really been somebody that's like, oh, there's some haters. You know what I mean? Because I've never really viewed life like that.
Mm.
until I started to acknowledge that there is some people. But to me, I'm like, I'm just being myself. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't wish nothing on you, you know? And it's kind of like I feel people just feed more into that, where it's like, okay, why don't you see it in this way? Like, what if they're like admiring you? You know what I mean? And even if they are like, you know, hating, it's like, what is that serving you?
Right.
And
Right.
then I think of have you heard of that brand Famous? It's like a big
I
F
think
and it
so.
has a
Yeah. Yeah.
star
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
called Haters Make Me Famous, you know? In which the concept it's funny, you know, but I'm like, I feel like if there was more of a loving perception or
Mm,
more of a loving thing put out there,
mm.
then people would like steer more towards that. But I feel like everybody, not everybody, but most people are like wounded in their children.
That's what it is.
Like just a bunch of angry,
That's what it is.
sad, can't express their true selves.
You said it well.
Like
Wow.
that's all it is. It's a bunch of children who aren't able to express their true selves because they're like trapped in their mind of
Yeah.
their old wounds. Like that's all it is. And
They don't take time to recover because they think it's like, oh, it's either this macho man situation or this I can do it, you know, without any help or whatnot, which it's unfortunate, to be honest. It's really unfortunate for a lot of the cases, but what can we do now? No, let's talk about a
what?
little bit. We went crazy on this one. Oh my
You
gosh.
said first time we have a woman and this went.
Hey, this is therapy session right here.
Honestly, if you don't want a therapy session, I got you. But I will charge because my energy is priceless.
Hey,
wait,
go.
it comes with a price, actually.
It comes with a price.
But
Okay.
I will listen to you.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
I like to talk, especially about like real stuff.
Yeah.
But like I know I'm here and we're here to talk about and I wanted to, but it just drifted that way.
Hey, it happens. It happens. Let's talk about your inspiration and influences, because I really hope you brought some poetry, because I want to hear some.
Okay, yeah, I have poems in my phone, so I could definitely, and I can recite one that I'm actually like going through and living through right now.
Let's do that right now. Hell yeah,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
go for it. Let's go
Okay.
for it, because from there, maybe I get some ideas, and maybe we could, I don't know, probably write a song about that.
Me right now. Suddenly got nervous. Okay, hold on.
Do it, just do it.
No, when I was an instructor, I did a quiet one, and they're like, "Have you ever done ASMRs? You sound good." And I'm like, "Always been really loud. I've never heard." Like, I actually have a good voice.
I'm deaf as hell, so I can't hear anything.
Okay. So the poem I have right now is just like where I'm at in life right now.
Okay.
And it's like the current energy field that I've been in. I know we're talking about like the feminine, masculine energy. So it's like my approach could either be really soft or it could come off again more like the passionate side of me. It's called Me. Focusing on myself, shit, it's always been better for my health. Trying to make this money mine, gotta make good use of this time. See, it's only limited. I refuse to waste it on distractions. Look at the time we're living in. Owe it to myself, especially when I see the bigger picture. Ain't a woman in my lineage live the life I'm currently living. Living selfishly, how sweet of me. Doing what's best for me. That's the way it ought to be. You don't agree with me, I don't pertain to me. I live my path. You live yours gracefully. Maybe one day you'll see. If you know, you know. Can't force a soul to claim to see the same as me. Got a different vision, big dreams, endeavors, feelings as high as the ceiling. That's how I feel when I get stuck in the daydream, wishing it comes the day when I'm face to face with all that's meant for me. And that's it.
Give it up. That's a nice poetry.
You like it?
Yeah.
But you see, like,
But that's almost like a rap too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, me. That's me excited, clearly. The thing, like, look, how I was telling you earlier, my poetry is more like a rap.
Poetry's not so far from creating lyrics. What are some look aheads that you got for yourself?
Some what?
Look aheads. Like, what are you looking forward to do? What are things that are you projecting to do for this year?
For this year, well, this was one of them. Like when I was on my way here, I'm like, this is gonna change my life. I know that interview is gonna change my life because anything that you do, any little steps, is gonna get you to the bigger picture, right?
Mm,
Um, I'm working on like with my poetry eventually to start writing.
mm,
I've hopped on like beat, but like the interview with Jay,
mm.
how he's like, just stop overthinking it. I'm like,
Just do it.
that's me. Like right now, I was driving, and the thing with me is I hear a beat and I could just go off of it, but I just talk, like I just say random things. And you know how we said about the music?
Mm.
I was like, damn, music's like a drug, and I need that. I need that hella loud, and got that whole pack. Like it just comes out like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just say it. Don't overthink of what you're saying. Where
Yeah.
that itself was just like a little bar, you know?
Yeah.
Where eventually I just want to get, and I'm going to be in spaces like this that give me that opportunity to express my creativeness, because for years I've been saying, oh, I want to make beats. And I have like the garage band on my iPad.
Mm.
But to me, I'm more like, I'm very old fashioned in that sense, where I need the actual thing. And I know people say like, oh, work with what you have, which I'm learning to do. But it is just genuinely really hard for me.
Mm.
And it's because I hear a beat in my head and then I have this. So I'm like, I had to figure out all of this. And another thing I like to do is like, I'm really into like DJ sets,
Mm.
right? So like I've been learning about like the RPM and like the board, like how to play with it and stuff. But like I'm a hands-on learner, so it's hard for me again. But it's like right now I'm kind of at the place where I'm like, okay, I want to get these things. So what if you do need to get like a job to like help you with it?
I mean, not saying that you have to, but that's one of those things that you do to sustain, but never forgetting the ultimate goal and the reason why you are there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of artists do a 9 to 5, a lot more than you can think of. The difference is that they don't marry to that place.
Yeah.
That's the problem with artistry. If you actually dig yourself a hole into just participating because I'm going to get a paycheck and forget about the actual ultimate goal, which is your artistry, then you lost.
Yeah, because right now, like I'm door dashing and like I used to have a business. I'm still like with that business selling stuff. But I've learned that with a business, I'm still putting so much energy into that
Mm.
it's like it becomes really overwhelming for me. And it takes away from my creativity. Like I'm pouring still into that creativity because the business had a lot of creative endeavors, but it's
Mhm.
not what I want to keep going in.
Right.
So, but to go back to the question, yeah, it's just to be more in spaces like this and just to keep writing and
Right.
just to be around places that keep inspiring me musically.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and just keep tapping into different like creative endeavors I have because I'm a crafty one.
Who you want to shout out? Give out some shout outs
I want to shout out.
and where people can find you too.
Like, can the shout out just be anybody?
Anybody.
Oh, I want to shout out my dad because my dad crossed the border 2 times.
Oh shit.
2 motherfucking times. The first time he did it when he was 16 with $200 in his pocket, not knowing where he was going. Second time he crossed to get his sister's man to help cross him. I was like, that's some real shit. That's sketchy. That's sketchy, but damn. And then I just want to shout out anyone that supports me really. Like I've been seeing like in this journey who really does support me and who doesn't. And I want to shout out my inner child because she's been fucking doing that. And regardless of anything, she's what's bringing me to ultimately that bigger picture.
You got this, girl.
Yeah, like, dude, you guys, this is nothing. She's fucking wild. She's just getting warmed up, honey. Give her a fucking full closet of outfits. Oh, she's coming out.
That's awesome, Michelle. Thank you so much for being here once again. This has been such a pleasant talk. And man, let's get into the studio and see what we can come up with. So we'll definitely catch you guys later. Please leave your comments. Go follow my girl Michelle, and we'll catch you on the next one.